What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Tierfing Crafts. It is Tuesday. Weird day for a live. However, uh, I am running a hair further behind than I really wanted. Um, Hopefully here soon, that camera right there will no longer be a problem. That being said, we are doing a giveaway tonight. If you have been here for the past couple of lives, you will have seen us do the giveaway for the Master Chief diorama that one of our friends over at Reaper Comics will be working on me with. That one will be posting specifically to YouTube. It's not going to be something that we do during a live. That one will be a strictly YouTube thing. Sam, Cody. That'll work. All right. All right. Go ahead and set that down. The last giveaway was a full set of Magic the Gathering comics. I can't remember who the production company was. However, it was a full set of Magic the Gathering comics. Our friend Becca ended up with those. Hi, Sam. Tonight, we are going to be doing another giveaway. This time, we are going to be giving away a 2099 Genesis with the whatever Rachel had called that foil cover, because I can't remember what it was called, which is weird, because that's usually something that I would remember right off the top of my head, because I'm weird like that. As well as both the issues to Cable, Blood and Metal. All three of these, as well as the Magic the Gathering comics, were given to us by our friends over at Reaper Comics to give away during the month of December. So, along with those, as some of you may know, we are also giving away custom Bristol trading cards. And before we go any further about the trading cards, I'm going to hop down to the table and we'll check out what we got going on. All right, so readjust that camera real quick. There we go. Froya. Get down. Thank you. All right. So currently in front of us, hi Becca, is two of the pieces that I've already done. The Joker and Ayla Sakura. Today, as the title has indicated, will be full of reds. Lots.
Ash, which one did I get?
Which cards did you get? I don't know, because that one ends up being, it'll end up being random. Whenever they get sent to you or brought to you, depending, which in your case, you're close enough that they may end up just getting brought to you. But whenever they get to you, they will have a random selection in them, because
Hi, Shane.
from the back side, it's not exactly easy to tell which one's which. Now, I know which one's which, but when laid flat, it's harder to tell. Not impossible, but harder. So, we are going to start this off with...
We miss you too, Becca. I tried calling you back the other day.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
And who did you say was in?
Shane.
Shane. Awesome. Hello, Shane.
It's Kelly and Wilson.
Yep. All right. For this one, or for these 3 that I'm going to be working on today, I don't know how many of them are actually going to be done in the live, but I know I am working on 3 of them. For the ones that I'm working on today, I am going to be using both my Spectrum Noir Illustrator markers as well as my Azure markers that I picked up from Walmart. Had to remember where I picked those up at. Yeah.
Hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh. Venom. If it's gonna be red, it's not gonna be Venom. I know it's all good. Have been dealing with a lot, as you know.
Becca was responsible.
Yeah. I was trying to...
So how many shares do they have to come up with today?
For tonight's giveaway. Before we can do the giveaway, we have to get to a minimum of 40 shares on this video.
You want to show them what they're getting? You have more people coming in.
Yeah. I'm trying to erase construction
Becca, there's always a
lines.
JT. And a Damon at your house.
Right. As far as this giveaway goes, because Rachel and Becca have both won already, they are not able to win the prizes. Does not mean that they can't share. Doesn't mean that they can't. Hi, Richard. Doesn't mean that they can't participate and still interact, because we definitely want you guys to interact. But for this giveaway, we are going to be giving away this pretty thingy, the 2099 AD Genesis, as well as part 1 and 2 of Cable, Blood, and Metal. Which, there we go. Split those apart, make them a little bit easier to see. On the card, it is Carnage. Which Toxin wouldn't have been a bad idea either. Alright, so there is that. Now I need to figure out where I has well I be. Well, I done did went and misplaced.
What are you doing?
I misplaced something that I wasn't intent on misplacing. So,
I think that's one way to do it, Patches.
to fix it, what, just drop her face in the water bowl? There we go, found it. Alright. So, we are going to start with the Crimson Chin. And for the base, I am going to find the reddest red that I have, which isn't very many. There's red 10. That's Cardinal. I don't remember which one was lighter, which one was darker. Worst part is I had gone in and swatched out all of these and figured out which ones were what, how bright what was, so on, so on.
I think you threw the paper away on accident.
And I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did, actually. So, I'm going to flip this over. And we are going to re-swatch.
Some reds.
A lot of reds.
Hey, babe.
That
That looks really orange, like on my screen.
Is it coming across as orange?
You see, it has like this red or orange hue to it.
Wow.
Like, but it doesn't look like that in person.
Okay, DR1.
Awesome.
I'm hoping, yeah. And we'll give it a couple swipes just because it's what I did with the brush. RD6. Next in line is the RD9, which should be very much so more rich and...
Guys, make sure you're sharing publicly.
RD9.
As soon as we get the shares, we can start the giveaway.
And I am definitely looking forward to this giveaway. DR5.
I am too.
Truthfully, I am also looking forward to the next giveaway, which...
If you're able to share in groups, share in groups.
Let's see. DR10. Or, nope, RD10. Alright, so...
That coffee's gone.
I am thinking... For this... I need to find the reddest pink that I have.
Oh, the reddish pink.
Because I'm thinking it's either going to be...
I'm taking yours.
Okay.
I need it.
PK18 or PK13. And I'm thinking it'll probably be the 13. I think 13 will probably dip further into the red. Nope. Probably not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know nothing. Wow. Both of those are just rich pink. See.
Oh, my nose.
PK13. PK18. All right. So now that I know what colors are what, this is going to get interesting. We are going to start with the DR1, which is going to be weird because honestly, this is going to be a whole lot of red. And I don't know why I colored that in red because that wasn't supposed to be red. The eyebrow was supposed to be red. The rest of that was supposed to be black. And then color in the eye. And we'll color in the other eye. There we go. And we'll get this fin. And the background of this is going to end up being a combination of blues and deep grays. Make it look like a night sky. Because I think that would end up looking the best. And real quick, before I go way too far with this, I'm going to...
We got 25 shares, guys.
Awesome. 25 shares already. You guys keep sharing. That way we can get even more people in and we can get to this giveaway.
Share to your friends that you know that will be interested and come and talk with us and hang out and
Oh, yeah.
just have fun.
Alright, so rim on that side I'm going to do in pink. However, on the other side, I am going to go to the counter. Excuse me. I'm still going to stick with warm colors.
Warm colors.
But I am going to rim light the back. Which should end up contrasting quite well. Not to mention I'm going to need a yellow as it is. Because the C in the chin is yellow. But, now that I got that done, it's time to kick back in with the red.
Hi, Damon.
Hi, Damon.
Ask your dad if it's okay for you to share the page on your Facebook.
Agreed. What she said.
Let's go!
School.
Richard said he ran out of white paint and it sucks. Man,
Yeah, I can understand why that would suck.
Crimson Chin.
Yes. And sadly, I was hoping...
Becca says she tried to make Damon's, but it's not letting him make it public.
His won't let it go public?
I think it's because he has a juvenile account.
Oh.
It's okay. As long as Damon's in when we do the giveaway, we can put him in. I'm working on an all-black canvas. You can do neon colors.
Neon colors would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Or like, what is it? The opposite?
What do you mean?
Opposite colors.
Oh, do it in negative?
Yeah, the
If
negative.
it, but if
That's
he's
what I was thinking.
if he's out of white paint, that's gonna be a trick.
Yellow.
Well,
Yes, yellow.
in a negative, white will show up as black, black will show up as white. It will be the counter of. So if he's doing something that he's not actually requiring a heap load of black for, he might actually be able to pull it off without too much issue. Make sure I turn this dadgum keyboard off before I end up sitting on it accidentally.
If you do, I promise to laugh.
Yeah, I know. I'm already well aware that you will. And for a second, I might, and then I might start crying, because I'm chonky enough that I'm pretty sure I'd probably break the keyboard, and I don't want that. I need a new one as it is, but...
Not today.
Not today. Alright. Lots and lots and lots of red. Everywhere. I'm not saying that I probably should have thought this through a hair better whenever I started drawing these cards.
You know, I could have told you that, but you were in the zone.
I was.
Just let you zone out, man.
Well, I mean,
Just go and relax.
to be fair, two of the ones that are on the table right now, I stayed up until the wee hours of the morning working on.
Is that the night the tornado happened?
I think it might have been, because I know
Tornado drawings.
Yep.
Only in Oklahoma.
Right. One of these was that night. Yes. I was up until like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Up until like 4, I was working. Actually, no. I was coloring the two that are over here the night of the tornado. However, I did stay up all night whenever I did the Carnage and the Harley one.
I don't know why I'm so cold, but I'm over being cold already.
Right. Alright. So I got that. And I need... I'm going to go with my ice gray from my Spectrum Noir markers, try to give a bit of a cold touch to that darker area of the cowl. And for anyone who didn't know, the head and face covering is referred to as a cowl. Let's see if I can...
Those kids are out!
All of them?
Yep.
Wow.
Well, I mean, not the oldest, but he's being real quiet. He's laying in bed.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Let's try and cover up this gunky area that came from an eraser. Not for sure what caused it. All I know is it happened.
It's a thing. It happened.
Yep, it is. It is a thing that happened. Alright. So I've got that done. How many shares are we at?
That's what I'm checking.
Okay. That's what she's checking. I'm going to step up because DR6 really isn't that much of a shift.
We're still like 15.
You said we were at 20 something, so how many
21.
we were? Okay.
Chintastic.
Oh, for sure.
Dang, Richard, I just shared to 19 more groups.
Which, truthfully, sharing to groups works out quite well because that gives the people that are in those groups a chance to check out the page and
Jump in with us, say hey.
come join the chaotic fun that is Tierfing Crafts.
No typo, 10. 10 groups, not 19.
Oh, hey, still 10 groups. That's a lot of groups.
Hey.
All right.
Hello?
Your phone said hello.
I know.
Hello.
It's me.
Are you sure?
I mean, who else is going to be saying you hello?
Hello. Are you there? Probably not.
Probably not.
Okay, so to the people that are currently watching, I did start playing. Deuce was the name of that game again. High on Life. So far, I quite enjoy the game. So far. That being said, I have only gotten to where I have the third of the Gatlians. Who? Will? Hello.
Hi,
Hello,
Mom.
Stacy. Alright.
I was just up till the live. Sam said he was up till the live. Alright, guys, remember it's up to you to share the live.
Oh, he was playing up until
Till
the live?
We're giving away comic books. Nick, show them the comic books again.
Give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail and I shall show the comics again.
That we're giving away.
Oh, no, don't throw that because I'm going to need it. Alright. With all of our giveaways, we will be adding hand-done cards as well. Yeah, drawn and colored cards as well. It is a random shot as to what card it is. By the end of it, there will be quite a few cards. I'm I am shooting to have at least 3 cards per giveaway. So, currently speaking, we would be at 9 cards for this giveaway. Excuse me. 2099 AD Genesis with the pretty cover, because Rachel told us last week what it was called and I have forgotten.
That doesn't help your
Right?
case.
As well as Cable parts 1 and 2 of Blood and Metal.
There you go.
Chromium. Thank you, Rachel. All of these comics were given to us by our friends over at Reaper Comics, specifically for the giveaways. And so we do want to say thank you to them and send them a big shout out as a thanks for
Hi, Kelly.
their involvement and their aid to the channel over the course of the past few months. From my understanding, Rachel, correct me if I'm wrong, the website should finally be up and going in March, I believe, which will be great, because that will give me a chance to buy more comics. Because you can never have too many comics, depending on who you're asking. Alright.
I'm going to give everybody enough time that just came in to
Go
share
ahead and
stuff.
start sharing.
Because we're almost to where we need to be.
Alright, we are almost to...
We only need 2 more shares.
Hey, hey, hey.
And then once that goes, then we can start doing our giveaways.
Yes. Because I am definitely ready for some giveaways.
Well, I gave you a hi, Will.
Hi, Will. Sorry, Will. Richard, you should have sent him a hi. All right.
It's like I've only one person. Goodness, Patches.
Every time.
Every time we go live.
Without fail. All right. Let's step that up. Pretty it up. Going to a RD6 for some of the minor shaded areas.
Well, so at least I get some love.
There we go.
Look, it's better than being back in doggy jail. You right, Sam?
That is a valid point, and I will not disagree with that in the least.
Kelly shared! Yes!
Alright. Chin. Pink there.
Everybody coming in, like, follow the page, share the live publicly. We will be doing
Nope.
the giveaway
No.
shortly.
That one. Yes, we will. How shortly? I don't know, but shortly. There we go.
I've shielded several times. Will, you're going to have to share publicly. If you go over to when you share, you'll see on the other side it will say friends or public. You have to click on public.
That way everyone knows that I am the law. Sorry. I got a little bit dready there.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Lot.
Yep. Way more than was needed. And I can't believe I did. I can't believe I didn't notice it until just now that whenever I did this, the nose is offset from the fin on the top of the head.
Well, you said you was giving him a crooked nose.
Giving him a crooked nose, yeah, but that's next level crooked. That's an MMA fighter crooked nose. All right. And minor bit of adjustment over here. Not going to go super heavy on that side.
Is everybody ready for this cold front about to move through?
No. It's already bad enough.
Rachel said working on finishing up the resin jewelry Wyatt and I were making for Christmas. I'm so excited to see your product. And yeah, I'm not ready for it either. Like, I went and bought some groceries and stuff today.
I don't think anyone is actually ready for the cold.
I'm just hoping the power don't go out.
Right.
Like, that's my biggest thing. Like, I'm okay as long as the power don't go out. But if it does, you know what? We'll be alright.
We can do this.
We got this. It won't be our first rodeo.
Yeah, it ain't the first time the power's gone out.
Sam said, I am. I'll be sleeping through most of it.
Right? And see, that's my problem is, like, I would end up sleeping through most of the cold. However, someone else wouldn't.
Richard said, yeah, I'm going to be out and about in it for no reason at all.
I'm going to be, aside from going to work, I have no intention of being out in the cold unless I have to.
Will said he has to work in it. That's going to be a definitely long john and sleepy pants under your jeans day.
Right. Which I can't say much. I mean, even being indoors, I'm pretty sure I'm going to probably be wearing a long sleeve shirt underneath my work shirt.
Yeah, I don't do winter. I can't. Like, it hurts. It hurts.
The older I get, the more I'm completely agreeing with that. And that's what's bad is, like, when I was younger, I could handle the cold no problem. But the older I get, the more my bones are like, no, we ain't doing this.
I'm not really worried about the power going out because I have a gas stove. So if push comes to shove, I'll just put some blankets up around the house and block off the back part of the house, and we're all just sleep in the living room.
Right.
Like, I'm not really, really worried about it.
We got that pretty new curtain from work, so.
So yeah, it's just.
And anyone.
I just hate it because, you know, some people, they don't know how to survive without certain things.
Right.
They haven't had to do without. That's the word I'm trying to look.
Which, if you're from Oklahoma, you understand that statement quite well. The curtains statement.
The blankets on the windows.
Yep, blankets on the windows and on the doors and everywhere you can find that it is needed, you put it.
Really, Richard? I can't even comment on that.
Nope. Neither can I. Or at least not on here.
There you go, Will. Now you got your share badge. All right,
there
guys.
We go. And you know
Like
what?
Bart? Really? I cannot. My bad. They cleaned up Robinson. What?
That is a comment that I don't understand, so I'm going to leave.
You don't live in the city.
Exactly.
It was where the ladies of the night worked.
Ah, yes.
I hope that doesn't get us in trouble, but
I doubt it will, but that's just because it is a
I worded it.
it's a well-known term that is not explicit.
Right.
So, which
Josh said blankets over the windows and doors is a low-income native thing.
Visu and I were talking the other day, and he happened to mention the same thing, and that was how I ended up wording. I was like, "You mean ladies of?" And he's like, "Yeah, that one."
Hey man, if it keeps you warm, I don't even care.
Right.
Your penmanship is very nice and precise, bro. Well, thank you, Richard.
My penmanship.
Also, redneck. Wait, I don't even know what the heck's going on in the conversation.
I have lost the conversation.
I'm looking forward to your shadowing. Shading. Sorry, guys, my dyslexia just kicked in right there.
See where I am at. On a general basis, I'd probably just go
Alright, get the little...
3 tones, and that'd probably be as far as I ended up going with it, but...
Alright. Get your thingy on here so I can start adding the names. That's normal for you, Nick.
I can't. You have the phone.
I have the phone right here for you.
Alright. So, for tonight's giveaway, make sure that you have not only publicly shared the live.
So what they're giving away again, we're giving away again, and then...
I'm getting there. You also need to be liking and following the page itself. We are giving away 2099 AD Genesis with the chromium cover from Marvel Comics, as well as part 1 and part 2 of Cable, Blood and Metal. All 3 of them were given to us by our friends over at Reaper Comics. We will also be adding into the giveaway a random selection of... I am shooting for 3 cards for each giveaway.
I thought you were doing 2.
3.
Okay.
Initially, it was I was debating on doing either 3 or 4, and I think 3 is a better settling point.
Swish.
But once you have shared, and once you have liked and followed, and you have also followed the YouTube channel, because the winner of the first giveaway will be working with me to put together a diorama for... Which was Rachel. We'll be working together to do a diorama for a Master Chief figure. And that one will be solely on the YouTube.
The YouTube channel is the same as the Facebook.
The YouTube channel is Tierfiend Crafts. The only thing that is taken out of the YouTube channel is the Handcrafted Arts and Gaming, which I am pitching around the idea of altering the name of the page to be Tierfiend Crafts, just so all of them kind of match all the way across. But
it's just easier for everybody.
It is.
It's a lot easier for y'all.
For today,
yes, there is a Twitch.
there is a Twitch and also a Twitter. I don't get on the Twitter as often. Every blue moon I'll get on the Twitter. We also have an Instagram, a Billy,
And I believe a Patreon.
we have a Patreon. However, I am working on trying to get the YouTube channel running a little bit better so that I can start adding more content to the Patreon and
we're also playing around.
readjust and start to focus a little bit on a few other things. I have debated on doing a TikTok. However,
see, Damon just sat there and said it. Y'all need a TikTok.
I know.
We're talking about it.
His was the one that I was responding to. I have debated on it. However,
we have to have 1,000 followers before we can be able to go live on TikTok.
Yeah, and so because of that, I am trying to stay as much away from.
And a Discord. Someone, Richard said, in a Discord.
The Discord is one that I do have a Discord for. The email associated with Tearfiend Crafts.
You still don't use TikTok, Sam? Gosh, man.
I can understand why.
Hi, Autumn.
Alright. So, let us remember.
We have more people coming in.
I know. We have more people coming in. And since we have the more people coming in, I will wait for just a couple more minutes.
Chinese firing. Just don't post anything personal on there.
Yeah.
Josh said he doesn't even get on it. Some
Honestly,
people do, some people don't. I get on and just use it for funny people.
Most of the people I follow on TikTok, I can follow on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so, like, I've taken to watching a lot more of the, what is it, the YouTube Shorts, I think is what they are.
Well, they also have, like, Facebook channels, too.
Yeah. And so...
And it's usually all the same things, almost.
Exactly. Which, one of my favorite creators on YouTube is...
I can't with Richard today.
Is also on Facebook. He's also on TikTok and everything else with his, what is it now, 5 channels?
Yeah, I just used the Facebook one. Give something to watch while I... Really?
Which,
I'm the one that always gets banned on Facebook. I need the
I know.
The will of the funness.
I know. I am waiting a little...
Everybody coming in, please.
Waiting a little bit longer so we can get more people to come in and...
Everybody coming in, please like and follow the page and share the live publicly. We're about to do our giveaway. And you must be, like, in the comments, too. It helps us be able to see who's here, and that's only fair for the people that's been here in the beginning all the way to the end. That
And
way
we
you can
definitely...
still do your...
Right, and we definitely want people to have a chance to participate and all of that.
You right, Sam. You right. I was hoping to see more drawings since I've been smoking. Nick drew these up the other day. He's just filling them in since it's so late. But I assure you that he does get on the page and...
Oh yeah, we've got quite a few videos where we've done a lot of drawing and stuff like that. We've also got a lot of stuff on the older videos where we have, where is it at? There it is. Done videos about tabletop gaming, specifically Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I think you explained it too.
Yeah, I did a couple videos explaining D&D and all of that. However, at this point, I have stepped away from DMing And now that I have stepped away from DMing to focus on...
Hi, Corley.
Hi, Bushy Brow.
We're about to be doing a giveaway. If you want to be entered in it, please like and share
But
our page. You have to share the page publicly.
you have to share the video publicly.
Have to share the video publicly. I am so sorry. I've had a really long emotional day today.
All right. Yeah, scratch my ankle.
Vampire the Masquerade.
I love Vampire.
Weren't we just
However,
talking about that with Rachel and Jared the other day? Because we were
I
talking
believe
about
so. Yeah.
Werewolf and...
I have been playing Werewolf the Apocalypse, which honestly, up to me getting to play Werewolf the Apocalypse, I hadn't really had much interaction with the World of Darkness stuff. I had an understanding of the world and some of the lore, as well as a lot of the mechanics to Vampire.
Oh, that reminds me, Nick. I need to send you my new build for my next D&D class. I can, as bonus action, move 1,080 feet each turn.
What is your class?
He said he'll send it to you. So, what are we going to make them to get them in?
All right. So, for everybody that is wanting to and is able to participate, in order to be eligible for the drawing.
For the show, because Corley didn't get to see
the
comics that were given
away. The comics that are being given away is the chromium-covered 2099 AD Genesis by Marvel Comics, as well as parts 1 and 2 of Cable, Blood and Metal. Interesting.
Hold on, guys. We'll tell you what you have to text in the stuff.
All right. We will be giving those away, as well as...
I want it all.
Right. As well as custom cards to go with each drawing. Now, the cards themselves are random, so you could end up with one of any of these three. You could end up with one of these two, so on, so on. I already have a few more that are already drawn up, and then a slew more that need to be done. Point's still the same.
All right, let's go.
Everybody's wanting it. Yeah. All right.
Becca.
The worst part is Becca
and Rachel
has the hookup. She has the contact.
Right.
She could get it without the drawing. However,
Corley said, "Oh."
However, for everyone else that is able to, because Becca and Rachel have already won, so they are currently unable to win this giveaway. Once you have liked the page and all of that and shared, I want you to drop me a comment. If you have played tabletop, any tabletop, what is your favorite character build? Not what is the most powerful or any of that. What is your favorite character build? So drop that in the comments. Let me know if you haven't gotten to play tabletop, but you are interested in tabletop. Drop me a comment of what tabletop game you are most interested in playing. And while you guys are commenting, I am going to start looking through a few other colors. That way I can...
Alright guys, you got 2 minutes.
Let's up it to...
What is tabletop? D&D?
D&D, tabletop games. Specifically, stuff like Dungeons and Dragons, Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf the Apocalypse, Warhammer 40,000 patches. The list goes on and on and on.
Okay, I'm not playing with you today. Stop it. Go lay down.
The rest of that water up there was hers.
No, I'm not playing with her today. She only does this when we go live.
I'm well aware. I am beyond well aware.
I don't understand why
She is mean and hateful to me. Oh,
She's
maybe.
like, I'm an old lady. I do what I want.
Yeah, brown. Ooh, there we go.
Babies.
That's the one I'm looking for. Say what you say. All right.
All right, guys.
Now,
Josh said he's never played tabletop.
there are a variety of tabletop versions to a lot of video games. So if you have played video games, you could name one, and chances are there is a tabletop version of it. For instance, there is a tabletop version of Pokemon, and one of my D&D groups has got to interact with those Pokemon quite a bit.
Yeah. I think we have a few.
Yeah, a few.
I like kidnapped one.
That is an understatement.
It likes me now.
Stockholm Syndrome. All right.
There you go, Josh. Now you got it.
Ah, there you go. Here's one for you. There is not only a Gwent tabletop, or an actual card game of Gwent, there is also a tabletop version of The Witcher. Now, it's not an official Witcher tabletop, but it is official enough that you can find it, and honestly, it was actually kind of awesome. So, we have got a minute and a half left.
Y'all keep commenting.
Keep commenting. And I am going to figure out exactly which colors I am going to use to make the background of this thing look good, because I have kind of forgotten where I was at.
Josh said I have all the Metal Gear games.
Ooh.
You can build a Witcher D&D. Don't be telling me that.
I don't have to build a Witcher D&D. There is a wonderful book that has already come out called The Book of Beautiful Horrors. It is actually probably one of the better D&D conversions that I have seen.
The Witcher one?
Yes, The Book of Beautiful Horrors. It was nothing but a conversion of the Witcher bestiary.
Y'all keep commenting. And I haven't played in a while. I'm going to have to teach my twins to play it when they get old enough. My kids actually play D&D. Sometimes they'll go in there and just do their own thing.
Oh, yeah. Which...
they don't know what they're doing 100%, but it's just kind of familiarizing them with it.
It's giving them a chance to sit down and interact and, use their imagination. Because truthfully, that's one of the things that I enjoy most about tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons, things like that, is that it gives you a chance to not only step into someone else's world or someone else's sort of what's the term I'm looking for? I forgot the term I'm looking for.
Is there a Marvel or DC tabletop?
There are, however, neither of them is very good. Or at least in my mind, they weren't that good. The one Marvel one that I almost played, I believe, is called Marvel Heroes, and truthfully, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't that good either. It wasn't something that you could easily pick up and learn. However, superhero wise, there are a few games that are actually pretty good superhero based games. One is called Mutants and Masterminds, and there is a
Arwen's character on D&D.
Oh, good lord! Which one?
Oh.
That is where it becomes a tricky question. Is it Andraste or is
I got
it
10
Sora?
seconds. Her main. Okay, listen. My main character was given to me.
Yep.
So I just played her how
We told her
how she was.
the character was. So to be fair,
I played her to a T.
excluding the stuff that she has kind of added into the character
It fits her.
over the course of the past 4 years.
Yeah.
It has been an interesting road with that character.
Uh-oh. I think her leg froze.
Oh.
Hold on, guys.
Actually, I think it was just I know exactly what it was.
We're still here.
We are still here, guys.
Just give us a second.
Let's see. Properties. And deactivate. Activate.
It's alright. Good
And we are back. Okay.
We're good. We're back.
From outer space. Oh, sorry.
Alright. Are y'all ready?
All right. So,
Will. Alright, I got the names.
the commenting is now over. We are going to get everybody's name
I got it all.
into the wheel.
We have a lot of names this time.
Right. Before we hop over and spin the wheel, I'm going to find a color real quick, and then we're going to get to what I was going to say.
Chat.
There is. All right.
Wheel
But
of Fortune!
before we bounce over to that, again, I want to give a quick shout out to our friends over at Reaper Comics and say thank you for being the ones that gave us the comics to give away.
You don't have to stop commenting. Y'all can still talk.
Oh yeah, you guys are.
You're more than welcome to keep commenting. You're fine.
That part's fine. The comments as far as for the giveaway.
No way, stop!
Not to mention, if you guys have tabletop questions and things like that, I am happy to answer those. For those of you that have been here for a while, I have been DMing for the better part of 7 years. I think 7 years. 7 years, I think. And in that time, I have learned quite a few things that, honestly, if I was the kind of person that liked retconning things, I would probably retcon a few things. But
I am Sam. I am.
my whole thing is whenever I agree to something or allow something, I'm not going to take it back. I am going to leave it effective as I said it was, and from there on,
I like green eggs and ham.
the ramifications go from there, as a few of my players have realized. Because I will start throwing harder and harder monsters in front of people.
My character's notorious for getting people into crap and then pulling us out.
Unlike Ricky, whose character is notorious for getting people into crap and then walking away.
No, that was Cody.
Or was it Cody?
That was Cody. He would like get us into shit and then just bounce out. And me,
I mean,
Rachel
to be
and Jared was like, what?
right. To be fair, Ricky also decided that instead of helping his teammates out,
Oh, that's cool. Josh says I have a Flash Gordon poster signed by Sam Jones.
oh, that's awesome. All right, last one I need is Ice Grade 4. But
All right, here you go.
on the last part of what I was going to say before I got distracted, if you are like me and you enjoy drinking energy drinks, because truthfully you have to stay awake and there's no better way to stay awake, I would say on a general basis. Check out Raise Energy and at repsports.com. Most of the energy drinks that I drink are Raise Energy. I say most because not always am I able to get Raise, but
they're worth it.
they are worth it. If you decide that you want to check them out, if you decide that that's something that you are interested in and you want to go check them out, go to repsports.com, and whenever you go to check out, use the code TierFingCrafts up here at the top, and you'll get a 15% discount on your order. That being said,
we're saving you money, guys.
You don't just have to get energy drinks. There are a whole variety of things that you can get on the Rep Sports website. They have a variety of things from energy drinks to workout stuff, such as workout gear and products for proteins and stuff of that nature, which at one point I was getting the pre-workout before.
Yeah, the pre-workout oh man, I was drinking that.
You were. Now, you were also drinking a half dose of pre-workout because a full dose would have jittered you up bad. However, there is the Crimson Chin. It is done. Almost. I need some white. Which one is that one? That one's 10. I don't need 10. I need 8. All right. We are going to add in a touch of white. Right there.
Your Rep Sports is covering up what you're color.
No, there we go. And then right here.
Right, yeah.
And then a little bit right here. Shing. And then some shing. And then a little bit more. Ching.
Patches, lay down.
Shing.
Come on,
all right.
Lay down.
And you know what? Just to make it better. A little bit right here around the yeller.
The yeller.
The yeller.
Oh, yeller.
That was a good movie. And if you haven't seen it, you're probably too young and need to watch it.
I took over the chat. Hey, man, it's fine. I have the wheel right here. I'm just waiting for Nick.
All right.
He's like, you're giving everybody like anxiety. They're like,
I am.
Come on.
I am. I'm making them nervous. All right.
Who's gonna get it?
So let me close that. Let me go down here and again say thank you to Reaper Comics before I close that.
Thank you.
Now.
No, the dog died. What?
Oh, in Old Yeller.
Oh, yeah.
To be fair, was understandable. Had to put the dog down for a reason. That's why I didn't get as choked up over it. That's just me personally.
I could also put Becca and Rachel in there, but you said they can only...
Yep, as much as... Did you get Damon in there? Okay.
I did get Mr. Damon in there.
All right. So, we have 8 entries into this giveaway. So now we're going to spin the wheel. And again, same with the last 2. Whoever wins, which it looks like it is... Kelly. Kelly, you have won the set of Cable, Blood and Metal, parts 1 and 2, as well as the chromium covered 2099 AD Genesis and 3 random Bristol trading cards done specifically by Tierfing Crafts, which I believe I signed all of them with. So, congratulations to Kelly, which we are going to close that and close that. Okay. Congratulations to Kelly for winning the comics and a couple of the cards. And I've got to remember to...
Everybody congratulate Kelly.
we are going to be doing another live and another giveaway on Thursday. However, unlike last week, I'm not going to tell you what the giveaway is.
Ooh, I know what it is too.
Or at least I'm not going to tell you what it is until the very last second. I might tell y'all in a message on the page. Who knows? So, in order to find out, you're going to have to check out the page.
Well, you have enough kids in that house. All of them could be joining in on this live.
Oh, for
and
sure.
helping you win this stuff.
All right. So, now that it is marked, which, honestly, I am very glad that I decided to start marking stuff that was specifically from the channel. Wow, that one is going to be a ringer.
We understand, Coralie.
I'm thinking I'm going to have to find a way to
You never know.
make this more random.
I mean, we just don't do this. We do other things also.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I thought about coming on and doing makeup or something.
Which, it is an art.
It is.
As much as I know a lot of people are like, no, it's not. Yes,
really
it is. It's an art. How do I know? Because I'm not capable of doing it, but I can learn how to do it.
Men usually do it better
Do
than
I
women.
want to learn to do it? No, I don't. But
You
it is
never know.
something I
It's
can
one of
do.
those little trades you might be good at and you don't realize it.
Right.
Like one of those little things. It's like usually men are better at makeup and hair than women are. Because y'all are more perfectionists than women are.
That is true. Now I've got to remember exactly
Kelly
how
said,
I
I'm
signed
going
on
to
this.
bed. Love y'all. And thank you so much. You're welcome, Kelly. Have a good night.
ING.
I do know how to do SX makeup. I wanted to do some this Halloween, but since I was working at the haunted house, I wasn't able to go on the lives and do it because I was working. But that is something we have talked about doing on here.
Next on the list is the Carnage. And I'm going to continue to run this live for at least another, I'll say 20 minutes or so. So if you guys want to hang out, I am perfectly cool with you guys hanging out and chit-chatting. I am so okay with that.
Night, Corley. Night, Will.
You guys have a good night. We're gonna start with all right.
Tell her I said hi. Tell who I said hi.
I don't know.
Who are you talking about, Richard? Oh, I'm cold as all get out.
I am sorry.
It's just cold because of this window.
I know. See, there is a reason why.
I'm confused. Richard, you're confusing me.
We put blankets in the windows.
I mean, there's curtains up. It's just...
Honey, those are summertime curtains.
I know. I need to get...
Those are not winter curtains.
I want to try to get those wood blinds.
Yeah.
And sticking up behind the curtains.
At one point in time.
Samson, even I'm confused.
Yeah, me too. I have no clue what's going on. I'm just... At this point, I'm just... Yeah, okay. Yep,
That's not hard to confuse you, dear. Which one is that for, me or Nick? Yes, is that answer.
Oh no, it's not hard. Depending on what it is, it's not hard to confuse me. But at the same time,
yes, it's the answer.
At the same time, I can generally keep up with.
Well, I will say, in my
Most
and Nick's defense,
conversations.
like, neither one of us are 100% paying attention to the chat. I have my dog running around, so I'm trying to keep her away from the camera.
I'm trying to pay attention to the
Nick is
chat.
over here coloring, or what are you, yeah, coloring.
I'm trying to pay attention to the chat.
Like we are. We're looking up and talking as much as we can.
That's what I want. I want to be able to conversate.
Josh, do you have any more questions about D&D?
That's a trick question. I'm sure you've both been confused or confused one another. You can bet I have confused her.
The same.
And she has confused me. So much so that I'm like, yep, okay, whatever you say, honey. Mm-hmm,
I think I've done the same thing to him too, so it's like only fair. We've done it to each other. Married life.
I can pretty well follow most of the conversation, but
maybe I should do like Makeup Mondays or something.
I mean, it's a possibility.
When we start getting more people and we can get that the D&D cookbook, and we can do like D&D Fridays, D&D Food Fridays or something.
Yeah.
Foodie D&D Fridays. I don't know. We'll come up with something.
But
more people we can get in, the more things we can do, and the better the giveaways could be.
Oh yeah, because I'm definitely enjoying being able to do giveaways for you guys, but we gotta get more people in so we can start upping the giveaways, because I mean there's quite a few things that I would love to put into giveaways, but it's currently not feasible to do.
As of the moment.
Yeah, at this moment.
Sam said the D&D cookbook is spiffy. Bought it for friends and I loved a lot in it. You gave me nothing but heartache.
Most of the recipes that are in it are actually
indigestion.
pretty decent stuff, but it's
yeah, I've seen some stuff in
a
it.
whole heap of this is probably going to be painful later.
Nah. This cold's painful.
No, for sure.
Oh.
Now, part of why it'll be painful later is because you're lactose intolerant and I'm lactose illiterate.
That's an understatement. I can't believe your doctor told you his intake of cheese is fine.
I thought it was funny because my response was, as I looked at you and goes, "See, I told you."
His intake of cheese is like ridiculously high. Like I've never seen somebody eat as much cheese as him. And I have 4 kids.
The worst part is I guarantee if you ask my mom, I've been like that most of my life, but Seth eats more cheese than me. Or did. I don't know if he still does, but
no, it doesn't even sound appetizing.
That might be something to ask Corey.
I can't do it.
I know at one point in time, okay, those of you who are native are going to understand this a lot more than people who aren't native. Growing up, we were on commodities, which is all well, fine and good. I'm perfectly okay with that. Those of you who have seen a block of government cheese and knows how big it is, my brother used to make cheese sandwiches.
Not a grilled cheese.
Not a grilled cheese. Just cheese. I am not joking when I say that chunk of cheese was literally an inch thick.
Yes, commodity cheese is very good.
Government cheese in general is
like
good cheese. Now, here's the thing. What a lot of people don't understand is that commodity cheese is just American cheese. It's processed cheddar using a yellow cheddar to give it color. By the way, if you didn't know, that's what what actual American cheese is
I know.
Processed cheddar. But
Sam is saying the man who eats ice cream and has a stomach problem, terrifying sounds and such.
Here's what's bad is like the ice cream is irritating, but it's not debilitating. The cheese really doesn't faze me, but most of the time I'm eating the cheese with something else. So
Are you trying to say it sucks up the lactose?
yeah, I'm muddling down the cheese with other things like ramen noodles, which, if you haven't tried it, make you a package of ramen noodles,
Oh gosh. No.
throw cheese in it,
Ugh.
which she hates ramen. With a passion hates ramen. Me, I love ramen. I really love actual ramen, but it's not
Okay,
as
I
easy
will
to
say,
get.
I like actual ramen. I don't like this crap that they have here.
Oh. Now, apparently, somebody vet this if you know for sure. Apparently, in the city
Macaroni.
or in Norman, one of the two, we have an actual ramen shop.
It's in there's a few places. Rachel asked, what would be a good art kit to get if someone doesn't have anything to start with?
A good art kit.
I know a hoo-hoo is good alcohol markers, good cheap alcohol markers.
Hoo-hoo markers are probably some of the better, cheaper alcohol markers. And there are some marker artists that actually swear by Ohuhu whenever it comes to the cheaper markers. Sadly, I have not gotten to use Ohuhu markers.
He gave them to my niece.
I had gotten them and gave them to her for Christmas, I believe.
Yeah, it was Christmas last year.
And so I didn't get a chance to use them. They were brand new and all of that. I did get to use another brand, which honestly no, not the Azure, those ones that I gave the kids.
No, patches.
I don't remember what they're called, but those were bad.
Sam's saying the noodle place that you're talking about is in Tulsa. Josh is asking.
I knew there was one in Tulsa, but
Josh asked, "Do you ever sell comics?"
I do not. Now, one second. Our friend over at Reefer Comics, that is what they do. They sell comics. They are currently working on getting a website up to where they can sell their comics.
Rachel, that's in the chat right now, you'll see her as Rachel Jett. Her and her husband Jared are the ones to talk about with comic books.
Yeah, they
talk to them in our chat first and get approval to send them private messages, because I'm not going to have people send them private messages and blow up their stuff. So just for, what is the word I'm looking for?
I mean, it's partially
you can ask them
a privacy thing more than anything.
Right,
it's more of a privacy thing than anything else.
But you can message Rachel on our thing, and she'll tell you if it's okay to private message her or not, or her husband Jared, and then we can go from there. I just don't want a lot of people blowing up their
stuff until they actually have an official website and whatnot to sell comics. Now.
But Josh, if you're interested, Rachel is in the comics in the comments right now. You can ask her and you can talk to her through the things like that.
Now, as to me, I don't sell comics on a general basis. I procure comics. I get a lot of comics. I'll read them, and then once I'm done reading them, then I go from there. But
Sam said once the website is up, I'm going to order bunches.
Definitely. Which I completely agree with that, Sam, because
they have a lot of really good things.
Oh yeah.
They have a lot of sets too, don't they?
Yeah, that is what they specialize in, is in full sets and full sets, one shots, and not complete runs, but long runs of comics if they don't have the complete set.
I think Jared's trying to get it to where if he doesn't have the complete set, he's going to try to find it for you.
Yeah, I know a lot of the stuff that I have looked for, including my Batman Who Laughs set, which I have to figure out what I did with those. But he didn't have the full set, but was able to obtain them. And on a general basis, the price that he quotes you is probably about as good as you're going to find without without getting a crap quality comic. I don't know if he is still working on trying to get it to where he can grade comics.
I think that he was last time we talked to him.
I do know that all of the comics that have been put into the giveaway are marked with what he is saying the quality is. So
Like no other.
oh, so 2 9.4s and a 9.7. So all of them very fine in quality. And
And they go to great lengths to make sure that their comic books are
Oh, yeah.
sleeved and backed. And
Yep, backed. I know because I have sat
we
with
had
them
gone
and.
over there and helped them.
Phew.
Rachel, she is trying to organize them so
As best that
she
is
can
able.
at the moment. They're all put up right now. I know Jared was scanning them. So, and they have what, 10,000 plus comics, 100,000 plus
I think
comics?
they are probably up in the 40,000
Yeah,
comic
they-
range right now. So if there's something you're looking for, there is a chance that they probably do have it. But as Arwen said, try to get a hold of them on the page first and talk to them in the chat. And if they are okay with you private messaging them or messaging them in a different way, they will let you know. Once their website is up, however,
Then we can put the website in the link.
then we can put the website in the link. And did he say he has a set or a Death in the Family?
I have the 3rd volume Batman Death in the Family.
Oh, probably one
that was
of
Josh.
yeah. That is probably one of my favorite Batmans that has come out. Is Death in the Family. It is a very dark story, and I loved it.
Sam said
I
I
will
will be
be
in
in
a quest
the-
to own all the wife's favorite comic series. I found the first one and I got it for a random gift. Now I'm just going to buy them all and keep them
As a memento.
yeah.
Which I can't disagree with. I actually completely agree with that.
Oh well,
Did I freeze again?
no, somebody is posting something on your YouTube.
Whoa!
My girls are waiting.
Yeah.
Arwen, you remember my Joker mask award at the Britannia warehouse? That was from the Batman Death Family. It came in volume 3. Yes, sir. This block user on YouTube.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. We gotta block somebody.
Block that user, and then make sure that all of
It's
them.
not in our Facebook chat.
Oh, I know that one's in the YouTube chat, and yeah, I'm not doing that on YouTube either.
It's already been done.
Okay. All right. So sadly, my end of the chat went wonky. However,
I still have it up.
she still has you guys up.
Why
So
are you blocking me? We're not blocking you, Josh. Somebody wrote something inappropriate on our YouTube
on the
channel,
YouTube, and
so we had to block them.
I would prefer not to have to deal with that, but
Just peace and love, guys. Peace and love. That's all we're about. I'm not doing the negativity thing.
oh no, I'm not doing negativity, but this is me we're talking about. I am a very peaceful person to an extent.
I mean,
I work security for a reason.
right?
Which I have been asked before why I work security, and I've had to tell people, look, on a
people real good.
right on a general basis, I'm kind of an ass, and okay, that's true. I can't. But on a general basis, I tend to be unintentionally, but it's just I come across as kind of crass or mean, I guess, even though I'm not trying to be mean. I do like to joke and kid around a lot, but I work security because honestly it works quite well for my personality.
Because you have a brilliant personality.
And my ADHD gets to kind of be reined in for a little bit.
I just like working security because I don't know. I do better working by myself.
I have noticed that working security, I am able to focus more on what I'm doing.
The task at hand.
Right.
I'm exploring all my stickers.
instead of my brain going every which way from Sunday. All right. Let's see.
I'm starting to get tired.
Honestly, I'm kind of glad I decided to use this brush pen instead of
Me too.
one of the black markers, because it does look good. 1 second, love. 1 second. There.
Richard, I just can't with you right now. Like, you're putting a cat with a little bun on the thing.
He's playing with the stickers. He's finding out what stickers are what. I can't blame him.
He's cracking me up.
He's having a good time, which is great.
That's what we want.
I'd love for people to have a good time. Having a good time.
He said, "Oh my God, I found pandas."
Uh-oh.
You should have seen him at Kelly's Christmas party.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "It's a panda blankie."
I can't say much. I'm the same way with foxes.
Look, he did. He found pandas. There's a panda eating ice cream.
I don't think
I
I'm...
used to have the chrome cover of Superman, Man of Steel, when the black guy came out with the metal suit.
Oh, whenever irons became steel. Which, honestly, that stuff's actually pretty cool. I'm not... Okay. Anyone who is new to the channel is not going to know this as well as anybody that's not new to the channel. My single most hated character above any other, period, hands down, is Superman. I hate Superman. Now, my actual reason for hating Superman goes deep, very deep into the soul. I hate Superman because he's overpowered and his weakness is a rock. And no matter how you try to refute it,
And Lois.
Lois, a rock, and magic are literally his weaknesses, and that's what bugs me. Is it's like, seriously?
I mean, look at Wonder Woman.
Okay.
She has to get tied up? Really?
Okay, no. Okay. Wonder Woman's weakness, official weakness at least, per DC Comics, or at least unless they changed it in new canon with the Rebirth stuff, the original Wonder Woman, her weakness was being tied up by a man. Now, before Facebook or YouTube or anybody gets mad about that, I am literally only
Air Force pilots.
Only stating what is actually in the comic. Now, is that the weirdest weakness? No, it's not. It's really not, because they get weirder and weirder. However, my biggest reason for hating Superman is less his weaknesses and more the fact that he is massively overpowered for seemingly no reason. Because every villain that he interacts with, on a regular basis
Intriguing, Sam.
has kryptonite in some way, shape, or form, or can get a hold of it pretty easily, or has magical capabilities. And so it's like these are his weaknesses, and yet, oh, yeah, they don't matter. And that's what kind of bugs me, is it's like you create a quote-unquote godlike character.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome over on Twitch. Diggs. Not for sure who that is, but what's up?
Hello?
If you can get Superman where he can't get sunlight. Yep. And that's another one. Is like his powers alone. Okay. That one is funny, Richard. More than bad. Which, yes, that one was stupid, but it was something that got retconned. That honestly, I can't blame them for retconning, because it's not they are weak to the color yellow anymore. It was they were weak to the color yellow, but it has been changed to where it is now they are weak to the power of the yellow emotion of fear. So I'll at least give them props for
Fixing that.
retconning that to the point to where, okay, now it makes more sense. The whole thing is, though, is like Superman, if he stores more radiation, he becomes more powerful. Okay, that makes sense to an extent. But how far are you able to push that before it starts becoming a slightly questionable thing and really becomes kind of tedious and more of a problem? Because if he starts absorbing more and more and more, eventually, ideally, he's not going to be able to intake any more if you're looking at the science side of it. Because, I mean, we are only so capable. I mean, we're only so big. We're only so capable of pulling in so much. Now, the Superman Prime was still nowhere near as powerful as Superboy Prime, which is mildly terrifying and interesting at the same time. Because Superboy Prime was able to pretty much destroy the entirety of the DC universe. Then again, so was Dr. Manhattan. Not the point. Point is, up to a point, Superman was just massively OP for the sake of being OP. That being said, one of my all-time favorite characters, and actually my favorite superhero, despite the Deadpool tattoo on the top of my hand, is actually the Green Arrow. And always will be the Green Arrow. Now, the reason for that is because, honestly, out of every character, including Batman, Ollie has no superpowers whatsoever. Superboy was crazy. That he was, especially once he ended up getting the power rings. That's where he started getting way too overpowered and terrifying. There was an issue where Parasite took over Superman, and Superman's powers kept building from the sunlight, and his body kept getting bigger. Right, and that was the thing. It's weird because it's like, why is his body getting bigger because of a parasite? A parasite, in its nature, is feeding on the host. The whole of the parallax stuff, especially the Hal Jordan and parallax stuff, because later on they do end up introducing parallax when Kyle Rayner was the active, quote unquote, active Green Lantern of Earth at that time. And honestly, I like Kyle a lot more than some of the others. But the Parallax stuff, Parallax was definitely a force to be watched and to be reckoned with whenever it came to the Green Lantern stuff. On the whole Lantern Corps war was amazing. If you haven't had a chance to read it, it is definitely worth the read. Is it a massively long read? Yes, but that's because it takes place over the course of quite a while and quite a few issues. Truthfully, I managed to find all of the Lantern Corps stuff at the library. I like Deadpool 2 when Ryan Reynolds went back and killed himself. Yes, that was hilarious. I don't. Thank you, Tim. I don't know why he ever agreed to do that movie, but man, that was a bad movie. Now, there were aspects of it that were good. The problem is Ryan Reynolds is not a good Hal Jordan. Ryan Reynolds is a much better Kyle Reiner, because Kyle Reiner is the more jovial, let's make jokes and be funny, ha 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 character, rather than the serious pilot, all of that. And that was the thing, is like, Hal is a more serious pilot. Let's see. Guys, yeah, it is. But it's worth the time you invest. Generally speaking, yes, it is. You're over Deadpool. Too much Deadpool? What do you think about Deadpool 3 with Wolverine? Honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing a... Oh, that's what happened. She jacked the phone. I am looking forward to seeing Deadpool 3. I think it's going to be a great movie. Yeah, and that's the thing, is Hal Jordan is more of the lovesick puppy, where Reiner is the more serious and, or not. Yeah, no, I'm wording really bad. However, Hal Jordan was a terrible choice for Ryan Reynolds, where Kyle Rayner would have been a better Lantern for him to portray. That being said, a big chunk of why they went with Hal Jordan is because he is the better known. Now, at the same time, they could have gone a whole heap of different ways with it. And truthfully, one of the things that a lot of people seem to forget is Ryan Reynolds owns Deadpool, or at least a big chunk of the rights to the character itself. So Ryan has been playing that character for a lot longer than I think a lot of people have noticed. He started playing Deadpool when he was in Blade Trinity. And yes, Reiner is so much more scatterbrained. However, where that gets weird is, honestly, I would love to see more Guy Gardner in a movie than any of the prime known Lanterns of Earth. Because, like, we don't really get to see any of them. Actually, Blade 3 wasn't bad. Origins was terrible, but Blade 3 was a good movie. Now, was it the best movie? No, it was one of the earlier WWE productions. What are you expecting? a masterpiece? No, that's not going to happen. WWE Productions and Fox. That's all that needs to be said. But even though it had those things going against it, it wasn't inherently a bad movie. It was actually a relatively decent movie for what it was. Was it the best Blade movie? No. And yes, the Blade movies are Marvel. However, they are what is categorized currently as Marvel Legend. Same with Star Wars Legends, all of that. And that's the thing is whenever one of the main characters is Triple H, you're only gonna do so much. But one of the big things to remember with Blade Trinity though was, or with all the Blade movies, is the Blade movies were meant to be for something completely different, and I don't think they ever intended to expand off of them. But Blade was a great series of movies. My favorite of them is still the second one, Blade 2. I thought it was a great story. It was interesting seeing Blade in a way that we don't commonly see Blade. It was also interesting seeing the other forms of vampire than just the standard. Which, if you know anything about Vampire the Masquerade, I believe it's the Nosferatu that are kind of akin to the vampires from Blade 2. I could be wrong, and honestly, if my buddy Andrew was in this chat, he could tell me real quick exactly which one. Actually, Jared would know, because he has a massive amount of knowledge whenever it comes to Vampire the Masquerade. I am learning more and more about Werewolf, and truthfully, I enjoy the World of Darkness stuff. I think Werewolf the Apocalypse is a great game. However, the gameplay is a little It leaves to be desired. Not in a bad way, just in a way that it makes it less enjoyable. But either way, the version of Hannibal King that Ryan played in Blade Trinity was very akin to Wade Wilson using Hannibal King as more of a name than anything else. Kind of jacking his identity. Let's see, are Marvel but owned by other companies like Spider-Man. Let's see, the Blade movies are owned by Marvel and Disney now. The Hello Kitty tattoo. Loved that comment. I thought that one was hilarious. The Blade movies are Marvel movies, yes. They are owned by Disney and Marvel now. Welcome whoever is in over on Twitch. We are currently talking about Blade Trinity and Deadpool, and just comics in general. Thank you.
I had to go pull a Sam.
I gotcha.
Hi, Autumn.
Hi, Autumn. I'm trying to keep up with the comments too.
Is this your late night crew?
I'm guessing.
Your late night peoples.
Which I am perfectly okay with. I mean, honestly, with a lot of people being off work tomorrow and all of that, it makes it a lot easier to...
Are you going to scroll down from your messages?
Yes. I was trying to answer Richard's question / statement. But Marvel and Disney own the rights to Blade. here's where it gets tricky. They were Fox properties. They are no longer Fox properties because Disney owns Fox. More accurately, Disney owns Fox Entertainment, not 21st Century. A lot of people forget that 21st Century and Fox were the same company. That was where the divide came from. But it was a good start to introduce comic book movies to. It was not an introduction to comic book movies. It was a better version of comic book movies. Because before the Blade movies had come out, there were quite a few other comic book movies that had already come out. And they were bad. Like, really bad. But, and it did. It did make the movie a lot more inclusive. The Nosferatu are not pretty and have to hide in the shadows. Okay, so I was right. It is the Nosferatu
Yes.
that are the atrocious looking ones. But
Just keep going. Just read what Sam is writing and shit.
yeah, I agree, Richard. And Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel. Hi, Autumn. We are now talking about how I connected phone to Bluetooth speaker to listen to live while washing. Okay. I have to go to bed. Have to be at work early. All right. Have a good night, Rachel. Good night. Disney has been trying to get the rights to all Marvel movies. Disney's been trying to get the rights to all the Marvel stuff, but the problem is that Sony knows better. Sony knows that if they give up Spider-Man, it's pretty well over. However, what a lot of people are forgetting is that, currently speaking, Sony also owns the rights, or holds the rights, to make the Star Wars games. So, that being said,
Disney doesn't need to own everything. Like they have to have some sort of competition.
oh, they do. Warner Brothers owns a whole heap of stuff. A lot of people tend to forget that Warner Brothers owns all of DC Comics. Also owns AT&T. Just throwing that out there. Oh, and HBO.
Do you hear me yet?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Which I don't think was that. No, that wasn't AT&T. That was. Oh, that's that's old.
Yeah. Show my age a little bit.
It shows both our age. Can you hear me now?
I know it's bedtime.
All right. Well, for you. All right. Next in line would be that one, Cardinal. But Universal holds the rights to why we don't have a new Hulk film. That is half accurate. Universal has done what Marvel has, or what Sony has done, and we do have a new Hulk movie coming out. As to when, I don't know, but there is a new Hulk movie supposed to be coming out and in the works. Disney does not hold the full properties, and that is accurate. Yeah, that's what's bad, is like Marvel has kind of shot themselves in the foot and made it to where now they're going to have a lot of issues getting things off the ground for a lot of characters. And no, they have not finalized the deal. That is very accurate. The one that I was surprised that they were actually able to get the rights to more than any other was Namor, because Universal was holding on to that character tight and didn't want to give it up. The reason why is because Universal is owned by the Warner Brothers. So Marvel's competition had rights to their characters. And that's one of the biggest reasons why there's been such a debacle to try and get these characters back and get things off the ground and a lot of that. And that's where we run into hiccups. Now, truthfully, I am looking forward to seeing what Sony does with the Star Wars properties, mostly because that there's no way they're going to do near as bad as EA did, which, don't get me wrong, EA didn't do bad on all of the Star Wars games, but they weren't exactly the best. But I'm looking forward to seeing what we have coming next. Now, here's the one that I am definitely looking forward to. Apparently, from the reports I keep seeing, Henry Cavill has stepped away from playing both Superman and The Witcher. Now, as far as the Superman one goes, that one was less heartbreaking. Not because I don't like Superman, but actually because Henry Cavill did a great job playing the character. He wasn't the Boy Scout. He wasn't really the paragon of good and all of that. So it ended up working out for him. But I kind of knew he was done with that character after the Zack Snyder, or the Snyder Cut to the Justice League. And honestly, the Snyder Cut was great. 4 hours worth of movie, though, that's a pain to sit through, no matter what it is or how good it is.
You're trying to say they should have done like Lord of the Rings and just
they could have easily broke it up and separated it out into a few different movies, but they didn't.
I mean, it is what it is.
Right? But truthfully, exactly, Sam, I am beyond ready to see Henry Cavill in Warhammer. Anything Warhammer 40K. We have, as a fan base, have been waiting for a Warhammer 40K movie or anything for a while. And Games Workshop wants to play games because that's what they do. But truthfully, I am beyond ready for that, because a Warhammer 40K movie that has Henry Cavill in it, there's no way that one won't be good. And what was his comment? They tried cramming too much in one movie to catch up with the Marvel movies. That is a valid point. They did. They very much so tried to cram way too much into a movie that they really didn't need. They didn't need to cram everything into one movie, and they did anyway. And honestly, it didn't really bode as good for them as they were hoping. And it's there's nothing they can do about it now, but it is one of those things that the Marvel movies have worked out so well, I think in part because they have separated everything out. They have kept everything away from being massively crammed into one movie. They have built up massive storylines, and it ended up benefiting them, especially whenever it came to the Avengers Endgame and what was it? Infinity War and all of that. Now, my big gripe with Infinity War, and still is my big gripe, Infinity War should have come after the Secret Invasion. That should have come first, but it didn't. And they did. They built up to a team. And like that's been kind of my big thing, is like, if you're going to do something, do it right. Do it in a way that it not only works, but it also, where are we at? Yeah, there it is. But it also ends up being entertaining. And if you're muddling everything down by throwing a whole group of characters together in one movie, how is anybody supposed to build an attachment to these characters? And a lot of it I have to look at from an author's standpoint, because whenever you're writing, you don't want to overload the reader's mind with a whole bunch of needless stuff from just character description, things like that, or trying to cram 15 characters into one chapter. Like, ease it in there. Be very sparse with how you go about introducing all of these characters, things like that. And Marvel has done that quite well until now. Now it's like they're trying to just throw things together and hope it works.
Here, take a break from talking for a second. Give me a kiss. I love you.
I love you.
I'm going to leave this right here for you.
Okay, thank you, sweetie.
Oh.
Have a good night.
I gotta get some sleep.
I know. Alright, and I am going to, real quick, okay, so, circle back, Warhammer head was underwater, but what is your thoughts on being a series from Amazon? Truthfully, after watching a few other Amazon series, I am perfectly okay with it. Like, this is going to probably sound kind of bad. I am a fan of a lot of the stuff that Amazon has done. Now, most of it's cheesy, hokey stuff, but Amazon hasn't done bad. Amazon's actually done pretty decent with a lot of their stuff. Some of the stuff that they've done has been kind of at best, but it's not bad. I'm glad Marvel broke away from always starting out Peter Parker being bitten. Oh, yeah. And truthfully, that was something that I think a lot of people were surprised with, was that Marvel didn't do the stereotypical, let's go in and tell Peter Parker's origin again. And to be fair, Marvel did say whenever the new Spider-Man stuff came out, hey, we're not doing an origin for Spider-Man because everyone knows his origin. The problem is, their universe doesn't have Oscorp, doesn't have a lot of the stuff that you need in order to do an efficient Spider-Man anyway. So how do you go about that at that point? And so the fans have kind of answered that question without Marvel actually getting involved to give us an answer. Because why would they answer whenever the fans do it for them? But one of the things that has been interesting to me is that they have stayed true to that aspect. They have not bothered with an origin story. And they gave us lesser known characters to be the main villain for movies. Why not? That's the better way to go about it. Now, let's see. Sam, I agree they do put a twist on some original sources, but they in the end, they do good. They do. Honestly, the Rings of Power was not near as good as I was hoping it was going to be, but it was definitely not near as bad as I was expecting it to be. Let's see. It does. So there's comic and animated series for Disney/Marvel story on Oz being introduced is a part of the new trilogy coming. See, that's what gets me, is like the stuff that they have done. I'm not saying it's bad. I had to make sure that the camera was still going. But I'm not saying it's bad. But some of it is kind of confusing as to why they've gone the way they have. Let's see. I wonder if they are ever actually going to do the Sinister Six. Sam answered the question. It is a animated. Disney has actually, from the way it seems, a lot of their Marvel properties, they decided that they were going to step back and do a lot of animated stuff. And give me a second. I'm going to continue to talk, but because of that, a lot of their stuff is it's getting kind of awkward because it's their way of being able to put a lot of the same characters in stuff without having to have the actual cast do the voices. To be completely fair, the same thing was done with Star Wars well before Disney bought the rights to LucasArts. So I can't fault them for that one, because almost the entirety of the cast to what was it? The Clone Wars. Almost the entirety of the cast was not the cast for I just had a complete brain fart. Was not the actual cast for Star Wars. And so, in reality, I think for Disney to start doing the animated stuff, I think it'll end up working out a little bit better as an animated series. And yeah, they did definitely end off the second one going in that direction. And I think that's what we definitely have to look forward to. I am not disagreeing with you at all. I am currently listening to, and will likely end up turning on after I finish this live. I am currently listening to Star Wars Convergence. It is one of the High Republic books. However, it is not part of the High Republic series. There is the Audible cover to it, which it's a little bit blurry, but honestly, it is a wonderful, wonderful book. It is more of a it's more of a detective novel, which I am so on board for. I just got done listening to, where is it at? One called Path of Deceit by Aaron Yvette. Or not Aaron Yvette. Aaron Yvette was the narrator. It was written by Tessa Gratton and Justina Ireland. The problem I have is the way the book was written is it really plays too heavy at stuff that sounds more prequel than current to the High Republic stuff. And so for me, I'm a little iffy on the way that one went. However, the book itself was great. It actually had a good outcome to it, or at least a good narrative outcome to it. What color? Those of you that are still in the chat, I will have to check that out. Where are you reading? I am listening to all of my stuff on Audible. Star Wars Episode 9, they could have done more explaining how Palpatine died. Honestly, everything from episode 9 onward needs to be decanonized, which Disney has officially discussed decanonizing episode 9, 10, or 8, 9, 7, 8, and 9. Sorry. Because they don't fit into the timeline anymore anyway, as well as the fans were not thrilled at all with the way that those stories went. And I can't blame people for being mad about it, because honestly, you had every opportunity to do something amazing. And yes, the High Republic stuff is great, but you had every opportunity to do something amazing, and instead of doing something amazing, you allowed people to completely destroy a series that honestly didn't need to be touched. And that's what got me, is it was a series that there was so much character growth and development in the original trilogy that it didn't need anything extra. It didn't need more than it had. You could expand off, but you didn't need to do a lot to make the story great. And then The Last Jedi came out. And truthfully, that one was kind of the killing point for a lot of the sequel stuff. Was that George Lucas selling to Disney? Truthfully, I can't blame him for doing. He was offered a big chunk of money to sell LucasArts. Not to mention, at that point he was done with LucasArts. He was done with the total overview aspect of it, more accurately. Now, does that mean that George Lucas was completely done with his babies and all of that? No. That just meant that he was finally to a point where he was ready to let somebody else have the reins and see where they could take it. And so he sold to Disney. Him selling to Disney was not the worst idea he could have had. He could have definitely sold to someone worse. That being said, what Disney has done with a lot of his properties, or what were his properties, has been questionable at best. I am not the biggest fanatic of the newest Willow series. Is it bad? No. Is it worth watching? Yeah, I mean it's decent for what it is, but it could be better. And I do like the Star Wars spin-off series. That is one of the things that I think a lot of people end up not getting to find out, is that whenever Dave Filoni was working on the Clone Wars, he was working on the Clone Wars side by side with George Lucas. George Lucas, and everybody that was involved in the Clone Wars series were all working in tandem to tell that story and to continue the Star Wars line from then on. The problem that the sequel series had is everyone that was involved said that they were fans of Star Wars, but they were fans of the original movie and nothing that had come out after. And it's very blatant in the way that they go about doing the sequel series. They end up doing them in a way that comes across as very anti-George Lucas, which is kind of a problem, because though he sold the properties of LucasArts to Disney, which If you didn't know, there is a new Indiana Jones movie coming out as well. Um, but when he sold the rights to LucasArts, he did it for a reason. He did it because, look, I'm getting old. I can't do this anymore. It's time to let somebody else take the reins and do this. And Disney made him an offer he couldn't refuse, kind of thing, and so he didn't. And the series is Obi-Wan was amazing. The Mandalorian was amazing. Book of Boba Fett was actually pretty good. Was it the best series that they could have done? No, but it was still a good movie or good series. The Bad Batch was phenomenal. But The Bad Batch was also Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau working on Star Wars. And truthfully, no one else, excluding what's her face who did the Obi-Wan series, because Kathleen Kennedy had stepped away from it and let somebody else take the reins, which is the way it should have been. But she is the one that has destroyed Star Wars for Disney. Or at least in my opinion, she is the one that has destroyed Star Wars for Disney. But the way that the series have turned out is, I think, what a lot of the fans were expecting whenever new Star Wars stuff was. We were told that new Star Wars stuff was going to be coming out, and honestly, on board for the idea of an Obi-Wan series. I did not expect what we got, but I wasn't disappointed at all. I was actually very happy with what we got, because it was nice to see how Obi-Wan goes from being Obi-Wan in the prequel movies to Ben Kenobi in the sequel, or in the original movies. And honestly, it was done very well, and I enjoyed getting to watch it. And honestly, I'd actually probably go back and watch it again. And at some point, I actually will go back and watch it again. Truthfully, Andor. As much as I wasn't the biggest fan of the character, Andor wasn't a bad series. Andor was actually a pretty dadgum good series. And yeah, seeing Obi-Wan battle with the PTSD, and then and it does explain how Leia has this knowledge of an individual that she's never met. And yet, I mean, at the same time, we could have surmised, oh, her father had told her about Obi-Wan, blah, 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 blah. But it makes more sense for her to have at least met Obi-Wan. And Sam, you have got to start Andor. Honestly, it's an interesting watch. Now, after listening to the book that I'm listening to, the Star Wars Convergence, truthfully, I would love a Star Wars game where you get to play as kind of a detective. So kind of like L.A. Noire, or what's it called? The Raven, or the something like that. I think that's what it's called, is the Raven. Like a detective game, but you're playing as a Jedi, and you get to go through and have to use deductive skills and use the Force to interrogate people, or to question people, stuff like that. Like, I think that would actually be a fun game, or at least to me it would be a fun game. And yes, Andor does go with Rogue One. However, the way in which it does go with Rogue One is where I'm glad they did it the way that they did. Because if they would have tried to continue and tell me that this character lived through the Rogue One whole situation, I would have started questioning things because, like, none of them should have survived. Like, there is absolutely no reason why any of them should have survived. And so, right? And so, like, seeing how they went about it, I was definitely pleased. Because they could have easily screwed that up. Now, I have heard a lot of negative toward it, but me personally, I actually enjoyed it. I'm kind of looking forward to a second season because they left it open ended to where we can see more of Andor before the Suicide Squad mission that they go on. But at the same time, I'm very much so ready for the remake of Knights of the Old Republic. I have been ready for that for quite a while now. Ready for it. Ready for the Ahsoka series to come out. That's assuming it's still going to be a series because, truthfully, I thought they did good with Rogue One using it to link episode 3 or 4. Exactly, and that was the thing. It was like there were a couple aspects of Rogue One that kind of made a few people I know of a little bit irritated because they ended up having to go back and fix their own problems. But one of the major hiccups with Rogue One, how many Bothans do you remember seeing in the movie? Because I don't remember seeing any. And apparently a whole bunch of them died to get the Death Star plans. Oh, wait. No, they didn't because they weren't there. Like, that was one of the things that did kind of annoy me. Not near as much as it did a few other people, but enough so to where it was understandable why they got mad. And so, like, for me, that one was one that, okay, yeah, that's annoying because you should have at least had this one thing as part of the movie. But then that meant that Disney had to go in and retcon their story and all of that, or retcon the original story. But it ended up working out in their favor. And I think that was one of the biggest reasons why they decided to do Andor. What? All right, have a good night, Sam. What ended up getting me? Yeah, and that was the thing, is like they ended it and started the next movie. Like they bounced from one right into the next, and it ended up working. Was it the best way to do it? Probably not, but it still worked. It wasn't bad at all. It actually worked out quite well. I'm gonna go with the neutral tone for the background, or semi-neutral tone for the background. But I think that was kind of one of the few things that, for me, I ended up enjoying was the fact that they not only ended the movie with something that was, okay, now we have this definitive story as to how this came about, so on, so on. But we also have a very distinct story in general that is all entailed in this, that leads right into what we already knew to be the case. it worked out. It went really well. Now, the one thing that has bugged me about the Andor series is I watched all of Andor expecting Alan Tudyk to be in it. Because if you look up the Andor series on Dejoogle, it says that Alan Tudyk is in it as what is the name of that droid? K2SO, which is probably one of my favorite droids of all time, excluding the HK series from KOTOR. But not once did I see him in that movie, and that bugged me. I was like, man, or technically hear him, but it ended up annoying me that we didn't get to see one of the greatest voices ever in that. Oh well. There's that. And now that that is done, we are going to call that one a done, excluding marking it. My biggest about it was... Okay. But yeah, like, I enjoyed the way Rogue One went and ended. The CGI was trash, but I still enjoyed the way it ended. But I think for me, I want to see more of the expanded universe. And I have yet to get to watch the Guardians 3 trailer. However, it is on my list of things to watch. I will be watching it as soon as I get an opportunity. It's just currently I don't have an opportunity, which I do. I can get on there after I get off here. But with this done, sorry to change the subject, but did anyone here see where Aftershock? No, I did not. I didn't know that Aftershock had filed for bankruptcy. And truthfully, if they're filing for bankruptcy, that means that there's a very big chance that one of the big fish is likely to swoop in to take control of the company and either merge them or put them out of business. But let me sign this. All right. So there you have it. We ended up getting 2 of them done tonight. I will continue to work on them after this, but I'm going to put those 4 together and set them over here. And then I'm going to slide this back down, because if I don't, I'm going to get mad at myself. And go back to face view. All right. Thank you for those of you that have been able to stick around. Filed 19th of this month. Wow. That is interesting. It actually is really interesting. It does lead me to wonder who's going to end up swooping in and trying to pick them up, because all right. It'll be interesting to see who picks them up, because truthfully it's going to be one of 4 that would likely pick it up after they hit bankruptcy, because chances are they're going to end up trying to sell as soon as all of the bankruptcy stuff is done. But Thank you to those of you that have stuck around for the almost 2.5 hours that I have been live. There is the Carnage, which, truthfully, I don't even think you could see all of the detail in the... Oh, there we go. If I hold it up to the camera, you can see it a lot better. There we go. So there is the Carnage. And there is the Crimson Chin. Both done. Now, back to the face. But thank you, Josh and Jared, since y'all are at the end of the video. Thank you, everybody that showed up. If you go back and rewatch this, definitely check out our YouTube channel. Thank you. Definitely check out our YouTube channel, Tierfiend Crafts. They owe $400K to a Canadian printer. To be completely fair, Jared, that is, in terms of most comic companies, that's a lot to owe to a printer, but it's not a lot in terms of the company itself. So that, like, how they have fallen so much is bad, but tis as it is. Again, want to say congratulations to Kelly for being the winner of the giveaway. To anybody who makes it to this point, if you are interested in being part of one of our giveaways, join us Thursday night. I'm going to say 10 o'clock. Mostly, well, yeah, 10 o'clock, because Friday is Christmas Eve. 10 o'clock at night, 2,200 hours. We will be doing another giveaway. I am not for sure exactly what that giveaway is going to be. 20K in unpaid royalties. That one's not surprising. That one actually ends up making more sense that they've got unpaid royalties. But remember to like and follow the page. That way you can see whenever we post new content and whenever we go live. If you are following me and subscribe to the channel over on YouTube, come over to the Facebook page, Tierfiend Crafts, Handcrafted Arts and Gaming. That's usually where I post most of my updates as to when I will be going live. Because not always do things work out in the way that I hope they do. And so sometimes it ends up kind of no. And then I end up being late to the live like I was tonight. So definitely come check out the Facebook page. Thank you to whoever has been over on the Twitch stream. I am going to end this live there. I'm going to say you guys have a great night, and I will catch you all next time.